everybody, welcome back to Be Wowed by April Lee. Thank you for taking the time to join me tonight. I am here because I was tagged by Llama Mama Kayla for the 23 non-yarny things to know about me. So I had jotted down the answers, the questions that everybody has been asking, and I thought I would get right into it and start letting you learn some non-yarny things about me. So the first one is my favorite color. Well, obviously it's pink and purple. Pink is first, but purple is becoming lately a new all-time favorite. But I still love pink and purple. I know I don't want to say a lame answer. It's an answer everybody is giving. But it is true. It is just, they're my favorite colors. They always have been. My favorite genre of music. I would have to say there is a tie between these two. And it would be 80s rock, like 80s hair bands. And then also the like 80s and 90s country. I like the new country, but I really love the 80s and 90s country. I listen to all kinds of music, so I really can't, but these are my favorite. I can listen to anything except for opera. I do not understand opera. All it does is give me a headache, so I don't listen to it. But I've listened to jazz, I've listened to soft rock, Christian music, I've listened to like oldies such as like 50s and 60s oldies, all kinds of music. It really depends on my mood, will depend on what music I listen to. My favorite food, I would have to say, is Italian. I love Italian. I love pizza, spaghetti, lasagna, all that kind of stuff. Love it, love it, love it. It's not the only food that I love, but it is on my top one. If I had to choose from any restaurant of any type of food, I would probably pick, like, Olive Garden is my ultimate favorite restaurant. So next question is soda pop. I don't know what they call it here in Indiana. They're a little weird in this area. But I call it soda. That's what I called it all my life until I moved, and I lived in northeastern Pennsylvania, and then I moved to Pittsburgh when I met my second husband, and I lived there for 10 years, and they called it pop. So I got calling it pop. And then when I would go home and I would ask my brother if he had a pop, he would be like, "No, but I have a soda." And I said, "All right, well, same thing." He's like, "No, I'm not going to give it to you until you call it soda." And I'm like, oh my gosh. He just does it to agitate me. But anyhow, so my favorite type of soda at this moment right now is Sprite. Sprite, I do like Sierra Mist. It's okay. I've been really getting into the caffeine-free soda right now. And then also I do like 7-Up, but I prefer Sierra Mist or Sprite. My favorite animal, other than my cat and my dog, because obviously I love my cats. I am a dog person as well. It's so hard to narrow this one down. Because other than cats and dogs, I love horses. Matter of fact, when I lose my weight so that I can get my knees replaced, one of the first things I'm going to do is ride a horse, because then I'll be back down to under the limit that I'm allowed to ride a horse. But I also thoroughly love wolves. I find that wolves I feel like they're my spirit animal. I just love them, and I have for a very long time. My favorite book. So I do a lot of reading, not as much as I have been wanting to lately, but I love a lot of different books. But I would say one of the best books that I have read over the last few years. I read it in 20, I want to say it was either 20, it was probably early 2020, like right after COVID hit. Once we ended up being in home, like working from home, my coworkers put together a book club, which was awesome. I was so excited, but they only did it the one time and then slacked off on it. So, but that one time we read a book called Where the Crawdads Sang, or Where the Crawdads Sing. And let's see if I have the author written down here. I do not, well, I thought I had this written down. Where did I put it? I have no idea. But anyhow, if you just Google Where the Crawdads Sing, you will see, I think it's like Dahlia Owens comes up in mine. But it is absolutely amazing. It is a book that I am planning to read again. But it was one of those books that I started and I just could not put down. Like, I waited all day to the point where I can get off of work and be able to pick up my book and just dive right into it and just lose myself in the story. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. It is a very emotional book, but it is something that brings reality to you as well. So something to think about if you're looking for a new book. My favorite pizza toppings. Well, I just had pizza for dinner today, and that was because of Llama Mama Kayla, because she mentioned how much she loves pizza. Not that I like anchovies, because I absolutely do not like anchovies. But I had to have pizza tonight. So I ordered it from my favorite place here in Lafayette called Monocle's Pizza. And I get their individual pizzas. So they are about that big around. So it's probably about a foot long, in diameter. And I get the veggie one, and I get everything on there except for mushrooms. I can eat mushrooms on pizza. I have no problem with it. I just would prefer not to if I don't have to. So I get light sauce, I get the thin crust, and then I get the veggie pizza. So it has peppers, onions, black olives, and tomatoes. Absolutely love it. And then sometimes I get extra cheese, sometimes I don't, but it is just delicious. My favorite pastime, obviously other than crocheting, my favorite pastime is finding historical places around me or near me within an hour or two and going and exploring them. Or just going to new areas, like looking on a map and picking out a place that sounds interesting and just go. That is my favorite thing to do. Other than spending time with my friends, but I don't have very many here, so it's tough. Next one is my favorite TV series. All right, so again here, I have so many of them, but my top ones, and I don't have regular TV. I do have Netflix. I accidentally renewed my Hulu this month because I don't usually use it. I just got it to watch a movie that my cousin had recommended. I have PBS subscription, and I have a Starz subscription. I only have Starz because of one of my TV series that I watch, which if you have never heard of it, what is going on with you? It is Outlander. It is, again, I love history, so this is like somewhat based on history, but of course it's more novel based and stuff. But Outlander, I started watching it, and it was like the book Where the Crawdads Sing. It was something I could not wait. Like, we are already, I think, in at least the fourth episode or even a fifth episode of only an 8-episode season. And we waited like 2 years for this season because of COVID. Every time that they would try to film, COVID would happen or something would spike up and they were not allowed to film. So they suspended filming, and it took them over 2 years to get us this season. And it's already almost over. Can't believe it. But anyhow, so I do like watching NCIS. I watch NCIS New Orleans sometimes. I love Los Angeles, and I do like the regular NCIS. Although I miss Gibbs, but I know there's a story behind Gibbs and Abby that I was not thrilled about, but I take it at face value, you know. And then I also watch Heartland. Where the heart grows. Is that it? No, that doesn't sound right. Trying to think of the name of the show. I can't think of it. I'll find it here in just a second. When Calls the Heart. That's it. That's one of my shows that I watch. I just have a whole bunch of them. I watch Mom. I watch Good Witch. I watch Bull. I love Bull. I watch Grey's Anatomy, of course. I've watched that since I was with my girlfriends in Las Vegas. We, I'm trying to think of the word. Binge watched all the seasons, and now I'm addicted to it, and I have been since. And then I watch Yellowstone. I watch Chicago Med. When Orange is the New Black was on, I watched that. I watched The Resident. Station 19. Good Lord. I have a bunch of them. Good Doctor, I watch. And New Amsterdam. I started watching NCIS Hawaii, but I didn't get into it enough. And then I was watching Law and Order SVU, but I haven't been able to get that to come up on my free app that I have to use for the new upcoming series. And then I was watching The Walking Dead, but I stopped watching that when Bert had left. So moving on, that's my life. That's why I don't get anything done, because I have a lot of TV I watch. But I do other things in the meantime. My favorite fruits, no questions about this. Raspberries number 1, blueberries number 2. I used to be blueberry of everything, and now I am raspberry everything. Veggies, corn and green beans. I love a lot of other veggies, but those are my 2 main ones that I will use or I will eat. My favorite subject in school, again, I had several of them from what I remember, just the things, but my favorite one of all time, other than history, was French. I took 2 years of French, and I had the most fantastic time learning it. It was great, and it was just an awesome experience. So I do love that. My favorite actor, actress, Sandra Bullock, definitely 100%. I do like Julia Roberts, but Sandra Bullock is my number 1. Sam Hagen, which is the lead character for Outlander, who plays Jamie. Absolutely love him. Singers. Who is my favorite singer? So one of my favorite singers of all time is Garth Brooks. I just love the man. He has such a personality. He has such a warm, heartful soul that's just filled with love for everybody. I mean, he just puts everything into his music, and he's not afraid to let his feelings and his emotions show, and I love that. And then the other one is Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. I have loved Def Leppard since I've been a little girl, in my early teens, preteens, and then teenage years. and he has been my heartthrob, so obviously I have to go with him. Who is my favorite superhero? I do not get into superheroes, so I have no idea on what to tell you there. My favorite comedian, Jeff Dunham. I absolutely love him. I can watch all his shows that is on you, or I watch him on YouTube too. When during COVID and he couldn't have new videos out, I would watch him on YouTube. He would put some content out, so I really enjoyed that. He makes me laugh. I can watch it over and over again and have rewatched it, and I still laugh every time. And that's a good comedian. I absolutely loved him. And I will go see him in the future in person. My favorite season, just like everybody else is saying, spring and fall. I absolutely love the fall because the cooler weather. I'm more of like a jeans and sweatshirt type of girl. But the spring just brings back like all the dead and all the coldness, and it's warming up and all the sunshine comes out. So it's really hard to, and thankfully we do have seasons here, unlike like Mama Michaela. I understand that completely. When I lived in Arizona, we literally went from, well, we kind of didn't even have winter so much. It was pretty much like fall and then summer. So my favorite movie, there is two of them, and they are one is the first one is the sequel. Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. If you haven't seen them, they are both old movies, but they are fantastic. They will have you rolling. I just absolutely love them. And you all are going to think I'm crazy with the next one when it comes to my favorite smell. I really gave this one a lot of thought, and the only thing that comes to mind is cows. I love the smell of cows. It reminds me so much of back home. I grew up around farms. My great-grandfather was a farmer. We always played on his farm, and then I grew up just down the street from a farm, so every so often you would catch wind, the downdraft of the wind, and you can smell the cows. So I always say, when I smell cows, I'll breathe in, I'll be like, the smell of home, and everybody thinks I'm crazy, but that's who I am. My best friend, I don't know if I can say I have a true best friend. When I was growing up, me and my neighbor, Alan, we did everything together. We would play with Matchbox cars. We would play with his like Luke Skywalker and those kind of people. We would play with Fisher Price people. We played with Erectus sets. We played with Lincoln Logs. We took his grandmother's throw rugs that are in the living room, and we made mountains and pathways with it and drove our matchboxes through it when we couldn't be outside. When we could be outside, we were, there's a little patch of gravel where his grandfather parked his truck over. We would make a whole city area of that and just play with our Matchbox cars. His dad would take us hiking and biking and mountain climbing, not like rappelling down walls or anything, but walking through the mountains, like hiking and stuff. We were outside as much as possible. We lived at the base of the Appalachian Mountains, and it was just an absolutely fantastic time. And him and I are still friends to this day. We don't get to see each other often, but we do keep up with each other on Facebook, and I know at a drop of a dime, if I needed him, I knew he would be there. I have a lot of friends that I'm close with, that I consider really close friends, but to say like an actual best friend, I really don't say I really have a whole lot, honestly. My favorite decade is the 90s, hands down. I grew up in the 90s. That's when I was a teenager. That's when I graduated. All that stuff. So obviously that's what I'm going to say is my favorite. And with this whole, who's your favorite YouTube channel? There's absolutely no way I can pick a favorite YouTube channel. I can tell you that I started watching Creative Grandma and Jada with Stitches as my very first YouTube channels. But they're not my only favorite ones, because I watch all kinds of, channels for all different reasons. So just like everybody else is saying, there's absolutely no way to pick that because I love everybody. And my favorite holiday is hands down Thanksgiving. I love Christmas, but I love Thanksgiving. I just love the food. I just love the whole meaning behind it, that you're giving thanks for things. And I just love to be able to spend time with my family. And I'm hoping now that this year I will be able to start spending more time with my family. So that is all my questions. I have no idea on who did or did not do this. I'm going to say if Ella from No Catchy Name did not do it, I would love to hear hers. And Creative Grandma, if she hasn't done it, I would love to see hers. So I'll just stick with those two for now. And I want to thank Llama Mama Michaela for tagging me on these questions. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch everybody's videos and see what their answers are, to see how much we are alike. For now, I'm going to close this out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for taking the time to be with me tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.